15 to 20 minutes to be eligible for MVP.
Typical day, but not the same old thing.
Jokic scores again, goes down for his 23rd point. Spurs will be the 2 seed regardless of the outcome. Wow, Carter Bryant throwing it down on Jokic.
I'm doing the same old things, y'all.
And Denver, the number 3 seed, and playing Minnesota in the first round.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome to First Take. Shea Cornette here with you. Yes, the NBA regular season came to a close. We had the Masters yesterday. A lot to get into today. Good morning, Stephen A. and Brian Windhorst. How are we?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Shea.
First of all, Shea, it's lovely to see you. I hope you had a marvelous, marvelous weekend. I'm just marveling at the tie selection of Brian Windhorst. I mean, the brother looks smooth. I have to give it to him. I like that tie, my brother. Way to go, my man. Way to go.
You know, Wendy.
We'll see how you feel after 2 hours of this, Stephen A.
We'll see if he's still sending.
How about that?
See if he's still sending out compliments. All right, let's go to the NBA because I mentioned yesterday was the regular season finale. Quite a few outcomes actually impacted the playoff field. We start in the West where Denver beat San Antonio last night. Nikola Jokic played the first half and dropped a casual 23 points. Victor Wembanyama, on the other hand, did not play. He sat to rest that rib contusion that he was dealing with earlier last week. The Nuggets win their 12th straight game. They'll face Minnesota in the first round of the playoffs. The Spurs, as the 2 seed, will face the winner of the Suns Trailblazers play-in matchup that will happen in the coming days. But let's go to the Spurs here. How costly is this loss for them? Because had they won the game, maybe the seeding would have been different. Wendy, what do you think?
Okay, I purport to be some sort of basketball expert. And let me just say that I think it was easy in the world of tanking that the NBA has been in for the last few weeks to just sort of disregard a lot of these games over the weekend because a whole bunch of players were sitting and it's like, get us to the playoffs. Having said that, I do not understand what went down with the Denver Nuggets and San Antonio Spurs over the last couple of days. I just don't get it. I don't understand what they were doing. I know what they've said, but these teams have strategy departments that are multiple people deep. They plot out strategies for years in advance. They rank every second-round pick's value for 7 years, and I flat don't get the strategy of how this went down. The Denver Nuggets, actively, as far as I could tell, were trying not to be the 3 seed. They were trying to force their way into the 4 seed because they didn't play anybody all weekend, Shea. They sat everybody on Friday against the Thunder. Okay, the Thunder are a good team, but the Thunder were sitting everybody, but they still won. Then they sat everybody yesterday, apparently because, now I know what they said, Shea. What they said was they were worried about health. And I know that they've had injuries, and I can't deny that, but I have to look at their actions. It looked to me, dumb that I am, that the Nuggets were trying like crazy to get out of the 3 seed so that they could avoid playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. They can deny that. They can call me names, but their actions indicate to me that this is exactly what they were trying to do. Now, this should have been seen as a absolutely wonderful opportunity for the Spurs, and let me tell you why. Because the Spurs have dominated every team they have played this year, including the Oklahoma City Thunder, who they beat 4 times. The only team that has been able to get the Spurs number all year long has been the Denver Nuggets. And so here they were brought a silver platter, Shea, of the opportunity to punch the Nuggets to the other side of the bracket on the last day of the season, to make their pathway to the finals so much smoother that instead of having to beat likely Denver and Oklahoma City, they would only have to beat one of them. And yet, Victor Wembanyama was deactivated. Shea, I understand he had a rib injury, but he played on Friday and he scored 40 points. I reject the notion that he couldn't have played. He would have had another week off. So the Spurs come in yesterday, no Victor Wembanyama. The Nuggets play Nikola Jokic for the first half because he's got to check the box for his 65th game. Okay, they did that. And then the Spurs are playing their backsides off all game. They're pressing full court in the 4th quarter, and they still can't beat Denver. And so when the dust settles here, this was a huge setback, in my view, for the Spurs, because not only are they now on the same side of the bracket as Denver, haven't been given this great opportunity to knock them away, they can't apparently beat them even when they bench all their star players. And so now San Antonio, in my view, has really got a thing over them, both in the bracket and mentally going into these playoffs. And you've got Oklahoma City, who's throwing a little mini party because they looked like they were going to have to play Denver in the second round, and now they don't have to see Denver or San Antonio to the finals.
Stephen A.
That was a lot there. I'm going to simplify it for you, Shay.
Sorry.
You should be very, very disappointed in the words that you just heard coming out of Brian Windhorst's mouth. Because I know I am. I'm very, very disappointed in what I just heard from Brian Windhorst. Because I think he doesn't miss much. But I'm going to tell you what you're missing, Wendy. You're missing yourself. Go back and look in the mirror. Go back and find numerous clips of you on various shows. Get Up, First Take, NBA Today, Countdown, etc., Sports Center. Go and look at all of the things. You've marveled at the San Antonio Spurs all year. You've marveled at Victor Wembanyama all year long. You didn't just talk about his greatness. You talked about a team that was flourishing, that was blossoming before our very eyes. And what was one of the top things that you loved and applauded them for, Wendy? They don't care. They don't give a damn. They ain't scared of them. All right, it's the regular season. We got it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't pushing you out. We're trying to avoid seeds and all of this other stuff. We don't give a damn who we go against. That's been the mentality of the San Antonio Spurs. How can we fault that? How can we sit up there looking perplexed on national television, scratching our proverbial hairs? You have more than me, of course. Going through all of this other stuff, Wendy, when the Spurs, as far as I'm concerned, are living up to an identity that they've shown us throughout this year. They're different. I'd say OKC is right there with them because they're the reigning defending NBA champions, and they ain't worried about a damn thing. Well, guess what? They're going to have to go up against the San Antonio Spurs if they meet in the conference finals, right? And San Antonio Spurs have had their number. But you get the impression from OKC where they're saying, we'll be ready. You look at the San Antonio Spurs, and what did I see last night? We'll be ready. It doesn't matter. And that's what I'm talking about. We should be applauding it. You know, think about this for a second. If it's true, what you say in terms of a team, you know, doing everything they can to be in a position where they get to play the Minnesota Timberwolves or anybody else. It's not what champions are made of. Champions are made of, it don't matter who we going up against. It don't matter what the seeding is. We'll be there. We'll be ready. That is what I'm seeing from the San Antonio Spurs. And when we talk about a team in this organization that we believe, if not this year, like Big Perk says, then next year or the year after, definitely has championship in their window. We know that eventually, if they stay healthy, they are going to win the championship within the next 2 to 3 years. If not this season. What you want to see is what they're showing us. What they're showing us is that, listen, we got to figure things out, but we are 62-20. We're 42 games over 500. We've had our way with everybody else. Yeah, Denver has given us something, but we lost to Denver the other day in overtime. Jokic dropped 40 and 13 and sealed the deal with some damn one-legged fall-away jump shot over the outstretched arms of the 7'5" Victor Wembanyama. Well, you don't anticipate that that's going to happen too often when you play defense like that. So you're the San Antonio Spurs. You're not fearing anybody, and you're not playing that game of this is who we'd rather play. What you're saying is, yo, we those dudes, and we ready to show you we those dudes. Wait and see. I have no problem with what I saw from them whatsoever. Zero.
So really quick, so Stephen A., I just hope we keep that same energy when it comes to the Knicks and the Hawks, okay? I hope we keep that same energy. Go ahead, Wendy.
In 5 weeks from now, Shay, in 5 weeks, if San Antonio was standing there, having vanquished the Nuggets, standing there ready to roll on the Thunder, and let's say we're going to have a great Western Conference Finals, and they love their position, I will admit that I was short-sighted, okay? But I'm watching a league right now, Stephen A., where I see teams ripping their seasons to shreds to get an extra 3% chance at getting a top 4 pick, okay? And them justifying it. And I see an opportunity where they could have pushed the Nuggets right out of their way and them laying down their arms. That's what I saw.
That one has nothing to do with the other. Those other teams are not San Antonio. Those other teams don't have a 7'5" superstar in this league that is arguably the face of the NBA. Those other teams don't have Castle and Fox and Barnes and the rest and Harper and the rest of these guys. Then they're not young and too, I don't want to say dumb or ignorant in a negative way. In this way, it would be a positive way. They don't care. And the point is that we don't get to see that too often. We see manipulation coming from the front offices, from the ownership group to the front offices, down to the GM, to the coaches, etc. We see too much manipulation and chess being played at the expense of a fan base. That's not what we're seeing from San Antonio. We're seeing a team that says, we the number 2 seed, we getting ready for the postseason, and we don't give a damn who we going up against. We'll be ready. Now, if they not, then they won't be. But that's what we're seeing from them. I have no problem with it. No, none.
You could be right, but this wasn't chess. This was tic-tac-toe.
San Antonio has had 4 losses since February 1st,